So, your name really Valentine?
Yeah.
That is wonderful. I didn't believe it. I saw you off and on for that little bit, and we never actually said more than two words to
Well,
each
you
other.
must not have had anything interesting to say.
Maybe not. I reckon we were all kind of busy.
I don't think I caught your name.
Tom Grable.
That's not a very interesting name.
Well, I'm working on a few things. Trying to get more interesting. I'm working on a name. I ain't like I ain't like what Peyton the Viper.
No, you are not.
No, I actually saw him a little bit. Him and Lucas Blake a little bit earlier. I think they're in sort of area somewhere. Yeah, you were riding at the same time as them, yeah?
What are they doing out here?
I don't know. I think Steven's got something going on. He's getting ready to try to pull people and do something bit ways south of here.
Any idea what?
No clue. I ain't. I'm barely on the last rung right now.
Why do you
Got
seem
in.
so proud about that?
Well, I got in. You know how. Well, you've got to know how long that takes.
Didn't take long for me.
Oh, yeah. Because you recognize you got something special.
So, what brings you out here?
Kind of looking for work. I sort of, well, I heard tell about all that. And I was thinking about heading south and seeing if Steven need anything to pick up on, and just trying to waylay folks out here is real tough because it's like they're everybody's got the same idea, you know. This is the Santa Fe Trail for you, I guess. ah, I'll bring you out though.
I'm wrangling some cats.
Cats, eh? He's
Well, there's another word I could use for my brother, but I don't think he'd appreciate it.
oh. Oh yeah. Family can be a heck of a thing.
You got any family? Tim, Tom, what?
Uh, yeah, it's Tom. No, it's I got.
I'm gonna call you Tim Tom.
You're funny.
Am I?
No, well, that. Yeah, I. You're real good. You're real good at that. Now I got you know my my pa probably still alive. I ain't really seen him for like 10 years.
Were y'all close?
Yeah. Uh, Up until the incident, then after that, we kind of lost touch. We sort of did not. He and I did not see eye to eye over folks I was hanging out with, and then he kind of insulted them, and then they came in. They smashed the place up a little bit, and we, you know, I took his stuff he had in his hidey hole, and we made off. Ain't seen him since.
So, no real family.
Nah, nah. I've kind of just been going solo.
You got anyone who depends on you?
Depends.
Mm-hmm. You
Nah,
got a
nah,
gal?
nah. I got occasionally there's a. Nah, not right now. I'm too busy, but occasionally we'll. I find I'm pretty good. I got there's dog been following me for a little bit. I've been trying to feed him for a bit, but yeah,
What
don't
does
think
it
he's
look
that
like?
interested. Hmm?
What does it look like?
It's a sort of a black and brown spotted thing.
Val empties the rest of whatever she's been drinking. You got a coin, Tim Tom?
Uh, uh, sure, yeah, I think so. Right here somewhere, and he sort of pats down his pockets until he eventually comes out. He's got a silver dollar. There you go.
That is appropriate. Why don't you come on out back with me?
All right. You head around
And
back.
she starts walking out the back and keeps walking until they're a good ways away
Yeah.
from.
You're a fair distance from pretty much everything. It's the closest thing is the livery at this point, and it's
Mm-hmm.
no one's really seeing anything in the dark. Kind of in a little sort of a hollow area. So move down.
And she starts moving the silver dollar back and forth between her fingers and looks up. What's the sky like?
Sky is overcast. It is pretty dark. There is you do occasionally will see the cloud will part and you'll see the moon through it. It's a gibbous moon currently,
Mm.
waxing toward full, not quite there yet, and so it'll come down through. So you've got some moonlight, filtered moonlight coming down. That's most of the light right now.
She takes the coin and flips it high, really high into the air, while looking at him though, and says, "Call it."
But since you've got it right up in the air, he's like the heads.
Jim, his head's a 1 or a 2?
We'll call it 1.
Well, Tim Tom, tonight is your lucky night.
Oh, is it? What'd I get?
You get a 20-second head start.
What are you talking about?
And she starts unbuttoning her jacket.
Oh,
19.
that kind of head start.
18.
He seems
17.
a little confused. He starts to take off his vest for a moment, but then kind of as he's watching, as you get down to about 10, he just kind of something in his hindbrain sort of reactivates, and he slowly starts backing away, starts stumbling back, and he gets up to probably about the edge of this hollow area when you get to 1.
Shame. And I guess the last thing he'd see before he bolts is her taking her pinky nail and kind of from her navel up, slicing, and instead of blood coming out, dark fur starts to, and she starts peeling it off.
And basically, he just looks at you and he sees that and he screams.
Run, run, rabbit.
He does. Then the camera will pan up for a bit and we're going to see the sky, going to hear the sounds of running and screaming, and perhaps eventually we're going to hear the sounds of yelling and then gurgling as one would make should blood rise up into someone's throat. And then after a while, we hear silence. And I will say that. Is this a thing where you would stay out all night, or do you think you would come back sometime that evening?
I think she probably stays out all night.
All right. The sun rises on a town with much fewer people in it than there were the night before. Evening, folks. Welcome to Deadlands. I'm Marshall Jim. Some folks call me Doc. And I am very pleased for us to be back here tonight. Let us go around. I always like to change up the order on these things. I think I'm going to head clockwise, and I'm going to start in our intros. For folks to say who they are and who they're playing, we will start this evening with Stephen. Hello.
Hey, Jim. How's it going, buddy? Good to be here. It's good to be back. I am playing the U.S. Marshal Elijah Hunt DuPont, and he is had a night of drinking, and he just witnessed his best buddy shoot two people down trying to get on their horse, and he has tried to corral the crowd to let them know that these men were actually attacking us. So it'll be him and Willie probably have to have a little bit of a conversation that we're both going to end up on the gallows if he continues to shoot people in the back of the town. So we'll see how that goes.
It's a good plan. It's a fair plan. We shall. I am excited to see its execution. But in the meantime, let's continue moving around. To Dot. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
It's good. I'm Dot. Hey, everybody. I'm really glad to be back. I know we've had a few weeks off, but it's always a pleasure to be here. I played Sister Ruth Ramus, our on-hand nun. She does nun-like things occasionally and has a particular interest in the dead. That's all. She also talks to ghosts, possibly. I don't know if it was a ghost or a spirit, but she does one of the two. We learned that last time. I learned that last time. No big deal.
Sure.
She's back ready to talk to spirits and put the dead where they belong.
Yeah. At least one wanted to talk to you. It's very sort of odd sometimes.
It's true, yeah. Well, and revealed some interesting information about our one of our team players.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sometimes something they feel is just important enough that they got to step over that line and tell somebody.
It's true.
But let us move on to Pope. Hello.
Hey, everybody. Pope here. I'm glad to be back. As for Erasmus, he's a little irritated. Just irritated. But it's good to be back in the Weird West. It's good to see you all. We're gonna have a time.
A time shall indeed be had, my friend. A time shall indeed be had. But now let us move around to Greg. Hello.
Hey, Jim, how are you doing? Glad to see everybody's lovely faces. There's a lot of things I could comment on so far in the intros, but I'll say this. It's been a couple weeks just to kind of talk about the Doc's irritation. When last we saw the Doc and Willie, they were digging graves in the middle of the night because of something Willie had done. So the irritation, I will take, it's my fault. Anyway, I am playing Willie Kenner, the outlaw Willie Kenner. And that's all I have to say about that. Back to you, Jim.
Awesome. Timing is important. Sometimes you got to find out if people are coming home at night or at dawn. It's very important. Speaking of which, though, let us head over to Lauren. Hello.
Much. Listen, hi, I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger. I'm playing Valentine DuPont, Elijah's little sister. Totally normal girl. The end.
Absolutely normal. The very scion of normality. Does not
That's
get
it.
any more normal than that.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, let us go ahead and get into this. We're going to, I think, come up on things probably. I don't think we need to get into the specifics of burying bodies right now. It's a very simple process. Hole is made, bodies go in the ground, dirt covers hole. The one thing I will ask before morning launches is, is there any markers placed or anything like that?
There are 2 markers. They're rough, made from harvested fence, considering that was obviously busted through at one point.
Oh, absolutely.
I wonder when. Taking probably one of the shorn iron rods as the main pole for each of them, and then just using some baling wire to tie some wood to make a cross over the very quickly dug graves.
All right, cool. So what I think is going to happen is the next morning, I think a number of folks were awoken last night during, what happened, and then were assured by the marshal that things were under control, and of course they were. But so first thing this morning, Reverend Baines kind of does insist on going out to the graveyard and saying one more. He was gonna do a kind of a mass little bit of a funeral thing in the morning anyway, but he can add those two other folks to it, and so he does that. Does anyone attend that with him?
I definitely would. If we're doing if nothing else, just to assure we do it correctly and they stay dead.
That's exactly why Willie's there.
Elijah's
sister,
Elijah's there to smooth things. These men had it coming. They had it coming. And he's out there.
He's already in the bar, 3 drinks in.
Yeah, there's like no one in town this morning. They pretty much all the farmers went back to their farmsteads, and the couriers lit out. Pretty much anyone who was staying at the boarding house decided to take off pretty early. Some of them actually even left that night.
So weird.
Just sort of decided, maybe I just need to get going. After the shootout, one thing, you have like strange shootings around the graveyard earlier in the day. Okay, that's one thing. But then, if people are getting shot at the at the cantina, there might be a few more issues. So they just decided, that was that for the most part. So the folks, like the 10 or so folks who stay around town are still here. But that's about it. So yes, Erasmus, you are able to get a drink if you want. You do have to you do have to go and wake the bartender.
It's too early even for the bartender.
You do have to go wake Pauline. She will if you go and you knock on her. She has a little house. If you go and knock on her door, she will get up and serve you drinks.
Like, it's the same clothes that she saw him in the night before, just a bit more dirt covered.
She's not even gonna ask. She's
Right.
just like,
And Doc is already strapped with pistol and knife, and just looks, eyes bloodshot, going, "Morning."
morning. It's a rough night.
Yeah.
I'll get you some. And she gets up and she heads to the heads back to the wild crocus, and we'll pour you out a drink. The rest of you, or well, I don't know if it's all the rest of you. I know that it's anyone who wishes to is.
I'd probably show up looking fresh as a daisy just to see what's going on.
Yeah. So yeah, no, basically there's you see that there are a lot of the graves have been sort of redug, or well, not really. I mean, a lot of the bodies got burned, so it doesn't really matter for a lot of them, but they kind of, the dirt got put back in. There are a couple of fresh graves there nearby. Technically there are 3 fresh graves out here. They already buried the deputy yesterday. But the preacher is standing there, Reverend Baines, saying a few words. There's actually a wagon out front, not far from the graveyard, that says Professor Gabriel Moon, mechanical oddities and elixirs. And so there is a there's a fellow, looks like he's in his 30s. He's got kind of a sort of broad brimmed hat and sort of very nicely dressed, who's also standing at the edge and just sort of got his head lowered.
This isn't the one we played poker with, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, the same one?
Yeah, he hung around because
he's a troublemaker.
Apparently.
Sister knows why he hung around.
So yeah, basically you're standing out, you come out and you see that here the Reverend is just sort of saying, and we wish to commend these gentlemen. Did anybody catch these 2 fellows' names that were out last night?
Nope.
All right.
No, Reverend, we didn't hear them. They're just a couple ne'er-do-wells that come into town looking for trouble.
All right. Yeah. Well, these fellows had they decided to unfortunately draw on folks. It's a heck of a thing. You gotta just don't treat your weapons like they're children's toys.
We're lucky to be alive, Reverend.
Life and death is a serious thing. All right. Well, we commend them and hope that their transition is an easy one. He will sort of complete his prayer.
Sister crosses herself.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I have to say. And just sort of chuckles a bit and just sort of shakes his head. Very sad. He looks very sad this morning. As he starts just heading over to his horse.
Take care, Reverend.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna see me for a bit. I'm heading the same place you are.
Really?
Yeah, I'm heading down to Desperation. I'm taking over as a town preacher.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Thought I would give it a try, and just sort of a smaller locality, see what happens.
Oh, well, maybe Willie over here will be attending one of your congregations one day.
Yeah, maybe.
That's when the pigs will fly. I cough under my breath.
I look forward to either eventuality, he says, as he's passing by you and getting over to his horse.
Good morning.
Hey, Val.
Just saying goodbyes to the dead.
Just
You
giving
look
them
pretty dour about it.
Well, we're just hoping they stay that way.
Right.
It's always something tiring about a proper burial. as Willie's covered in dirt.
Can't imagine why.
Well, I seem to have missed some fun.
I sniff the air. Have you been drinking?
Me?
Yeah, has she been drinking?
It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, you're good. Where's the doctor?
I don't know where Doc is.
Maybe trying some of that $20 tequila.
He's the only one that can't afford it. That's for sure.
Well, come on. Aren't we supposed to be getting on the road? Stop
Yes.
dragging y'all's feet.
Let's ride far away from the Reverend, his eyes, his questions, these two bodies, all that stuff.
What? You're nervous?
I'm not nervous at all. I just this graveyard has a tendency to be impermanent. So,
well, we can't leave without the doctor, who wants to go wrangle him from his tequilas.
it's my God damn it. I'll do it. Yeah, Willie will walk off towards the bar.
Okay. You folks will see Professor Moon is going to start basically getting back over to his wagon. He's going to look up. I guess I'm going to go ahead and get started, but if you folks still want to ride along, I'll be more than happy to do that.
Sorry, who are you?
Oh, I am Professor Gabriel Moon.
Yeah, she'll shake his hand.
I just a seller of various devices, trying out. It turned out last night I'm heading down toward Desperation. It turned out I'm heading the same way as some of these other folks. I'd try to give it a shot at that route through Desperation. Maybe see if it's any good. Might stay there for a bit. Otherwise, head down to Roswell. You also headed south?
Yeah.
You were a hell of a poker player last night, Professor.
Well, I get by. Don't sell yourself short, though.
Oh, well,
Oh,
thank you very
standing
much.
of luck.
Shit. Did you take Elijah in poker?
Yeah, you may want a hand or two, Val. Come on.
Did
now.
you take Willie in poker?
Who? Willie? He didn't know what he was doing. He
I
kept
nod
putting in
along in the
squares.
background and like point, like.
And he's just sort of like, a man gets lucky sometimes. And
That is true. I do believe in luck.
And Elijah kind of sneaks up on Val and says, well, where did you head off to last night?
None of your goddamn business.
Now, what a lady does after hours ain't none of your business, especially not your sister's.
Yeah.
I'm out
Yeah.
here looking out for her, sister. I worry about her. Let's just say that.
How many times can we say sister in one conversation?
I don't know. Should we try again?
I don't know. I don't know, sister. I'll try to say it as much as you want me to, I guess. I don't know.
so, Willie, you're going to find Dr. Erasmus there in the bar. Behind the bar is very bedraggled Pauline. She's just sort of slowly pouring drinks, wiping things down.
Hey, Doc.
Don't mind me. I'm just treating my back.
Is it well set enough for you to take the wagon, or you need some more medicine?
I think I'm good. All right.
Hey, Doc, I appreciate you helping me last night.
Willie, where we're headed, especially with that Moon character, I have a feeling I need to keep limber. And he just walks out.
Moon. He'll turn over, he'll tap his hat, the bartender.
You'll be safe, okay?
Yeah.
And she actually will reach forward. She will say, "Thank you, by the way." didn't get to thank you last night. I appreciate it.
Yeah. If anyone comes around asking for anybody in anyone's description, just maybe point them north.
I can do that. I'm good at that.
He taps his hat again. Thank you kindly.
You have a safe trip.
He walks out and jumps on his horse.
You got beaten poker?
I always get beaten poker. I suck at it. I'm good at one thing, and you know what it is. And my second best thing is shooting. What? Let's go.
So, you folks head south.
He got it before I could do it, and it's not fair.
I have to speed up my RP around Lauren. I can't, like, there's no time for a draw. You gotta, like, and I did this. So, that's right.
That was beautiful. That was really beautiful.
Wow.
Hey, I think we're on the road to desperation.
Oh yes, finally! Yay!
That's the name of the game.
He said the thing. They said
Yay!
All right, Jim. So nothing happens along the way. What's desperation like?
So, I'll get to that, but first,
What? Something happens?
I don't know. Maybe. No, you folks are heading along. You're heading along the trail. It's going to take as you're heading south on the old miners' road that heads south, sometimes southwest, as it sort of bends around bends around the local territory, local nation territory, and out here it's mostly you're going to pass by a few farmsteads. It's mostly going to be folks out here either farmsteading or trying their hand at mining in different places. It's going to take the better part. Now, the overall journey to desperation is going to take approximately a little less than 3 days. So the day itself, most of it is going to pass relatively uneventfully. If anyone is sort of as you, but you are at some point by the time you hit late afternoon, not quite sunset yet, but late afternoon is when Pinion Hill is going to come in sight. And
pray tell, from Sister Ruth's bad eyes, what day are we looking at?
What the hill?
Yeah, what's so special about this hill?
Oh yeah,
I love looking at hills.
It's got a little town on it.
Oh, there's a town on it. Okay, yeah. like small population, I'm guessing then.
Yeah, very small. It's actually it's a commune.
Are they drinking the Kool-Aid?
It is meant to be non-denominational.
Yes.
But from what, and this
Cult.
is mostly actually what Willie has largely heard because he knows someone here. And it is it's a little town, sort of. The hill is off to the side. The road doesn't go straight through it. You have a choice if you want to, depending on what you want to do. But they have from what Willie understands. I don't think you've ever actually been here necessarily, but they do lean mostly sort of. It's generally more Christian than not, and they very much keep to themselves. They have their main business here is they keep a rookery. So they raise birds here. They also raise a lot of a few different varieties of livestock. So mostly pigs and horses basically is the are what they do on the side there. But
I'm guessing we're not in need of supplies. We would have stocked up before leaving, right?
You got most of what you need. You could have gotten most of what you needed at the trading post, if nothing else. But it is getting late. So the question is going to come up. I will say that I'm going to ask everyone to make a notice roll for me real quick, just so that I can see who to say a thing to.
Okie dokies.
Oh my goodness.
Lord almighty, bad eyes my ass.
You know I'm lying. I've been lying this whole time.
Okay.
That would be
So
do the math on that one. 24.
that's many.
That's lots of green.
You have
I rolled green.
You have 3 raises. So you're going to so you get a 16. So you got that means 3 raises with a difficulty of 4. So you're going to see this first, and I think that Elijah's also kind of going to notice this. There are you're getting into an area. There are you get an area. There are a few trees here. There are a few more trees than there were a little further north. It's still fairly sparse. You're still looking at scrublands by and large. You do have more birds now. But one thing is there's a post that Sister Ruth and Elijah are going to notice very specifically. There is a pigeon just sort of sitting there on the edge of the post. It's kind of like it looks very tired.
Does it have anything attached to its leg? Is it a carrier pigeon? Oh,
it does indeed.
It's not waiting on us, right?
It's hard to say. It looks like it's just sort of very, shagged out right now. It's very
I go, oh, what a poor tired bird. I'm gonna reach up and try to kind of bring it closer and untie whatever's on it. Oh, oops.
I think I'm going to. You're going to do it. I just want to ask. I do want to ask briefly for a survival roll from you, just to see a little bit about the bird's reaction.
I was about to say, I guess that's unskilled.
Yeah, if you don't have survival, it's unskilled.
Yep. Oh, 5.
All right, you're good. Yeah, you get it.
I've been noticing a few letters via a pigeon or two.
Yeah, it's like.
Now, sister, that letter could be for some grandma.
Well, don't I qualify? I'm gonna unroll it, take a peek,
and you unroll it, and all it says.
Dear grandma.
Yeah, dear grandma.
Dear granny.
All I want for Christmas.
Yeah. Something is wrong.
It doesn't say who it's from?
No, it does not.
I go, now keep me honest, and I pass it over to Elijah. I also pet the bird's head and tell it it's going to be okay. Does it look injured?
No, it just looks tired.
No, poor guy.
Looks like a flying rat.
I hate birds. Dot hates birds. Yeah. And I go, thoughts.
So all the letter says is something is wrong. Is that what I'm at? Was that right, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
Something?
Yeah, that's it. It looks like it was starting another word, but it stops.
Oh,
Yeah, Elijah would probably read out loud too. Something is wrong. And he's not the fastest reader.
No, Elijah.
And the next letter probably was going to be an H, but that's.
Any kind of particular writing, and just a printed.
It looks like it's someone who's used to writing.
Okay, so not probably a child. It was an adult.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I see that for a sec?
Hey, sure, Willie. Hands it to him.
Marshall Jim, does this look like the correspondence that I frequently receive from one Peacock Ferns?
It does indeed.
Oh!
Looks like Fern's handwriting.
Oh, Fern.
Shit. All right. So Willie would lean over like the pommel of his saddle with the, the necessary leather creaking as he does so. Up there's Pinion Hill. It's a bit eccentric, but there's a lady up there that's been helping me get messages to Doc when he was back east, and to anybody else that needed messages gotten. Her name is Peacock, Miss Ferns, and this is her handwriting.
How long's she been there, up on the hill?
Long as I've dealt in pigeon, which is Doc, how long's that been now? About what, year and a half, 2 year?
Almost 2. 2 in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. That's our anniversary. What's 2? Paper? Flowers.
Dare you send
Yes.
a pigeon to one another?
Pigeon master.
So you're telling me your friend sent out a random call for help?
I don't know if this is like a message in a bottle type of scenario, or like a smoke signals, or if she was sending it to me. It landed damn near us. So
Do you think she knew you were coming through, Willie?
I
How
She-
often you come by this place?
It's true.
mean, she knows where I'm at, sorta, because she sends it a pigeon to fetch whatever.
What kind of lady's this? Named Peacock or Fern? What's her name?
She's not somebody that needs judgment. She certainly is not someone that needs judgment from not having been met and defending herself.
I'm just saying. She couldn't
Willie
have been a
has-
horrible lady if she's up in a
No.
religious commune.
Well,
Willie has a way with the ladies, and that way is far, far away.
that was a far, far way to get to that joke, I might add.
Man, we are slapstick tonight, gang.
Is this Miss Pigeon? Is she a good person or
Peacock.
what?
Her name's Peacock.
Peacock. Is Miss
Peacock. It's a
good
different
person?
bird, Elijah.
Ah.
So I pet the cooing.
Peacocks cannot fly.
It's true.
Peacocks are the colorful ones, right?
They are.
Just the
Well,
men.
are.
Oh, how you ladies
Easier
know a lot
to
about
hunt.
birds.
Oh, I know. That's what I was thinking. The same thing, Elijah. We must be in the right damn place. I mean,
All right. Enough of bird
Okay.
talk.
Touching.
We should maybe talk about the fact that your friend here, whether she a pigeon or a peacock, is seeking help. Why? What's wrong?
it's enough to warrant further questions, but at the same time, we're not sure exactly what. I don't know. I'll leave it up to the group. I've given you everything I know here.
Val started writing up.
Looks like we're
Oh,
staying the night.
Shit. Well,
What kind of place is this up here, Will?
I've never been here, man. I've dealt with. I mean, there's only a couple ways to get messages back east, and this was the one I was told about.
If you're saying it's a religious place or has some kind of connectivity, would I have heard of it before in regards to that? Like who runs the church here, or the congregation?
Yeah. So you can make a roll for me. And let me see. Why don't we have you do?
I don't know what that is. But I guess it can be common
Do
knowledge.
common knowledge.
That's what they're common knowledge.
Yeah.
Wild dice 7.
All right. Yeah. It's a little bit. This place is kind of out of the way.
Okay.
But since folks have started using this road again, you hear a little bit from time to time. Yeah, it seems like about from what you've heard, it's supposed to be a place where folks of different faiths can basically decided to get together and bury the hatchet.
Oh, I see.
and
They're
mostly they're-
non-denominational.
Well, yeah, and when I say different faiths, we're mostly talking like Protestants and Catholics type
Right.
deal.
They came
basically.
together
It's-
and put
yeah.
their differences to the
Yeah.
side. Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, that was kind of the idea. Lately, it's been It's lately it's been you've not actually heard very much. That I mean, the most information you have was from more than a year ago.
Okay.
And that they raise animals, and that's how they
That's how they do
survive
their thing.
largely. They sell the animals to outside communities. But
All right.
they yeah, that's been most of it. It's and yeah, any new information hasn't really been coming out about them. They're either it's been terribly boring, or someone has wanted it to be terribly boring, perhaps.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
Hard to say. Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Well, if Val has started riding off that direction, the sister is fast behind her.
Okay, Val, I would like you to make a notice roll for me, please, as you are approaching this hill.
Oh, goody goody gumdrop. 4.
Okay. Yeah, something you're going to see kind of as you are is the road sort of turns up and will rise up, and there, you know, so you have to get basically the way this thing is situated. It's on top of a very, very big flat hill on top, so you can sort of get up. And so it looks like the only way up and down from this hill is this road. And as you're heading up, you'll notice on either side of the road there are these things. They look kind of like you sort of assume they're crosses at first, but you get them and they look like they look like crosses, but they're a little bit the crossbar is a little bit higher than you would normally put on a religious cross. And so basically these sort of made out of these poles that are situated one on either side of the road. And you do notice off of one of them, it's like from one side of it, there's like this sort of frayed bit of rope that it's pretty short, very, very short little frayed bit of rope that was looks like it was tied to it.
About how big are these things?
They're about, I want to say 9 or 10 feet.
Oh,
High. Yeah.
cool. I'm gonna wait for the others.
Okay. You can see into the commune at this point. They're not really fenced in or anything, but you see that as you're sort of heading up, you could see that somewhere you had plenty of time. You were approaching this thing. In the back, sort of is more where a lot of it looks like the farming goes on. There are, a number of houses up here that you can see, and a number of what look like more common buildings that they built up here. So Sister Ruth is again taken off after Val. The Reverend Baines is just sort of nodding his head, and is actually going to be following Sister Ruth. And Professor Moon just sort of looks at the rest of you, looks up, and then says, "Well, I don't know. Do you think they're gonna? I don't know if these folks would take kindly to someone selling stuff heading up there. You think? I mean, I can come up.
As long as you don't mention Hellstrom's name, you might be all right."
Oh, do they not like him in these parts?
A lot of people don't like who you're associated with.
Well,
And then just immediately starts writing after.
He's like, fair.
Elijah, you want to... Professor, you can park down here, right up there. It's relatively free country. Elijah, you want to kind of skirt the other way? Everyone seems to be hell-bent on riding straight in.
That's a good plan, Willie. Just make sure your guns are loaded. He starts to,
Shit.
he starts to check his rifle and stuff. If shit goes south up there, be ready. And he'll take off the other
Have
direction.
we met? All right. Yeah, he'll skirt with Elijah. He's staying with him as they go around. Presumably, Jim, if we can, I know it's on top of a hill, to kind of go around the mid base and then enter from the
Sort of walk
opposite
up
side.
the back of the hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. No, you can do that. I am going to call for athletics checks as you do this.
Wow.
But yeah, the road is a rough one. I think what the yeah, just kind of looking up. I think the professor is ultimately going to decide to stay down because the road's going to, you know, yeah, he's gonna probably stay down there while he figures out whether his cart can take that road up to the hill or not. I think that's probably going to be sort of in question for him. But so just so I'm clear, so Elijah and Willie are going up the back, and I know that Val and Ruth and Reverend Baines are heading up the front way, and Dr. Asmus is heading in what direction?
Heading up right behind the Reverend.
Heading right up behind the Reverend. All right. Okay, you folks are riding up. And
did Val stop there with the ropes hanging?
Yeah.
Okay, I would
did.
join her if she's still waiting when we arrive.
Oh, I was waiting for the second bravest person. Hello.
I look up and I say, seems they've got their own way of dealing with things.
Uh-huh.
I bet they claim it's the Lord's way.
Anything like this in where you come from?
Yeah. But not the church.
At least not anymore.
At least not anymore. I'll be honest, and I kind of, at this point, I'm going to guess probably the doctor and preacher right up, kind of behind us, and we should tread lightly if there is something wrong, and they manage to keep quiet about it. The real question is, why and how? Last thing we need is to get locked on the other side of. And I kind of just point at, the rest of the way to the town.
I can be friendly, like.
I just look at you as if, can you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, now might be the time to put on your friendly pants or dress, Val. I know you're wearing pants under that skirt.
I am indeed wearing pants.
It's okay. So is his sister. Don't worry about it. And of course, then I stop and I go, where are the other two?
Being sneaky like.
Now, don't they know? Ain't no better way to get somebody upset and suspicious about you than to come sneaking in the back door.
Oh, I know. Ha! I thought of another joke I'm going to make, and I'm going to take a really long time to say it later to Willie.
Excellent. So, speaking of sneaking up around the back, just going to look over at these athletics rolls, and it looks like you both passed. So that's good. Willie is actually going to be ahead as you're sort of climbing up the side. You mostly it's a little steep, so you've got to just kind of work your way up and sort of find a way up. Takes a little while, but then you see you come into view of this field of wheat that you're coming up on, and that's most of your view right now.
He would help pull Elijah up and get him the rest of the way if he's ahead, and he would say, "We're coming in through the back door, and I know somewhere your sister's ears are burning. Any?
I'm
Who's
commenting
in-
probably about a backdoor bandit. I don't know what that
Something
means.
like that.
So what?
We got a
so
field
we're
of
looking
wheat.
at a field of wheat, and that's it.
Well, you've got a field of wheat, and across the field of wheat, you've got a few. It's actually so there's a bunch of wheat there, and then they're fenced in. You see a little just beyond the wheat. You see smaller areas, sort of farming areas, and there are a couple of people. There are a couple of people out there, just doing a little work at this point. But it's late in the day, so it's basically at the point where they're stopping work out in the out in their field.
Everything look right. Everything look right, Jim, with this work setup.
It's I mean it's small, but it's on top of a hill, so that's expected. There's it looks as though it actually the wheat is beautiful and golden, strangely. It looks like whatever they're doing, it's helping the crop growth.
More. I'm sorry. No, I was just gonna say more or less is the work being done as a community, hence the word commune, or does it seem like one or three or a dozen people are telling everybody else what to do?
Well, back here, it just from what you can tell right now, it just looks as though just a couple of people decided to keep farming close to the end. So it's you don't see anyone giving them orders. They are kind of just sort of
do we think
going
we can
at it
sneak
roughly
through the wheat? Like kind of like
I would be delighted to see if
you
you can sneak through the wheat.
to see if we can hear their conversations potentially, to see what's going on.
Yes, please make
talking.
Please make your rolls of
that's
wheat
what he would
sneakery.
This is how horror movies start.
Yes, go right into the wheat. Go right in.
Wait. Before we do this, Whitley's gonna
just do it.
Willie's gonna stop. Damn it, Willie's gonna stop Elijah. Now we got to.
He's not. No, he wants to make a plan. He's just asking.
All right. Well, listen, we got to
talk it out. He's not going to just jump through a wheat.
We got a decision to make here.
Kicking him out of the back door.
We have a pigeon that warned us that something is not right. If we go sneaking through this wheat and that pigeon ain't right, we're gonna get shot at.
You're worried about that right now? That's what you're worried about?
Yes, I'm worried about. Hey, anybody can get lucky with a gun.
Isn't
Elijah.
this a religious commune?
Yeah,
they don't shoot people in communes, do they? I thought they throw water on each other or something. There was a bunch of goofy ones back east.
Okay, so you're for sneaking.
I'm definitely for sneaking.
One vote for sneaking.
What's your vote?
I say
you wanted to come in the back way, so I figured that's what we're doing. We're sneaking.
Well, God damn it! I say we wait and see what the others do when they hit the front, and then you sneak, and hell, I'll stride up between the rows here. Give them a real good biblical rendition.
2 seconds ago, you were worried about getting shot. Now you're going to stride up on in there? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, shit, yeah. If I see someone draw in, it's okay. If I'm sneaking through wheat, I can't see shit.
I'll tell you what. I'll sneak through the wheat. You cover me. I'm going to see if I can just hear anything.
Well, listen, man, if I can see you...
I know what I'm doing here, Willie.
Listen, if I can see you in the wheat, you ain't sneaking.
That wheat's pretty tall.
How in the hell am I supposed to cover you if I don't know where the hell you are?
How tall is that damn wheat?
It's summer. And so according to Stardew Valley, it's actually only about waist high right now.
That'd be low crawl. I got to do some low crawl. Sneaking through the wheat. I
mean, you could sneak through it. You could if you crouch down, you could do it. It's a little above waist height right now.
I say this: we got a bird's eye back here through the wheat and shit. When everyone else gets to the front, let's see how they react. If they just say, "Oh shit, there's someone here," that's fine. Now, if they say, "Oh shit, there's someone here," and they start grabbing guns and pitchforks and fucking knives and sickles and shit, then we know we got a problem.
Well, I'm a U.S. Marshal. They ain't going to shoot me. I'm going to tell them they're out shooting. They're religious people. They throw water on each other. God damn it. And dunk each other in rivers, right? That's what they do.
You know what? He takes a long drag. I never thought you'd die in a commune. But this shit you're talking right here about the badge protecting you, what the hell? Where did you ever get that? You think these people give a shit about the medal that you wear on your chest or didn't, Mr. Bartender?
They better. They better.
They reside their faith in a higher power, my friend. Or, as the doc would say, something that's higher powered. Let's go.
All right, well, let's see what they do. And he kind of like draws out his Winchester,
Okay.
just like to get a with his telescopic sight.
So I would like the both of you to make notice rolls for me so that I may know how to incorporate events as they unfold up front. Excellent. Okay.
We are eagle-eyed. Tell us everything. Tell us what
You're
all
going to
do we
see
say?
something, all right. I'll let you know what shoots.
One is good in this game, right?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm going to do a re-roll.
One's great for me. All right. What chip do you want to use for your reroll?
Which chips? I don't see what I have. Hold on.
You have two whites and a blue.
The white's just straight re-roll, right?
That is correct.
I'll do that.
All right.
Come on. Still sucks.
Excellent.
Never mind.
I've just bent this chip out of shape. All right. Okay.
Gosh darn it. Heavens to
So
Murgatroyd.
you're keeping very alert. You're watching. And we're going to go up front. There is something does look funny. Actually, the longer you look at these folks farming, but you just can't put your finger on exactly what it is. I'm going to move up to the front now. And so are you folks up front? Are you heading in or what you doing?
Yeah, I would say I'm gonna go. I'm guessing there's some kind of gate or check-in point, or can you just ride right into town?
It's actually fairly open. It looks there are gates, but the gates are open.
Oh, okay. And there's nobody
There
standing
are people. Yeah, and there's no one standing right there, but there are people milling about. They look, just sort of going back and forth, talking to each other, doing townfolk type things, whatever those are, says the person horribly isolated.
Sister, this is sort of a main situation. Let's just go in, be cheery, and if things get rotten, well, then the shooting starts.
Doc, you know how to be cheery?
It don't always have to end with shooting. Sometimes
Those
there's an
two are
exorcism.
already-
I smile because
Oh.
it was a joke.
Rolls his eyes as wide as he can, just goes, oh, if only.
Well,
Bane's kind of snickers.
Doc said be cordial, so as we get close enough to just like not shout out, but just kind of toss voice forward, the sister will say, well, salutations. We're seeking lodging for the evening.
Okay. So as you enter the town, you look at you're coming further in. You do notice. I would like actually everyone up front who's coming in up front to make notice rolls for me, please.
That's 7.
7.
Awesome. So those of you who got, so it's going to be Ruth and Val. Basically, you're going to notice this. There are a lot of there actually are a lot of birds just kind of hanging around here, around town, just on top of posts, on top of roofs. Looks like it's all crows that you can see right now. They're just kind of hanging out, being crows. And some of them are in the road, doing splashing in puddles and what have you. Although not much in the way of puddles, but they're there. And you get the attention of a couple of folks who are going to just sort of just look up. It's looks like it's a couple, as they are on their way. It looks like they're carrying a thing of cabbages somewhere.
Oh.
And a little basket of cabbages. So one's got the woman has a basket of cabbages. The man has sort of a sack of what looks like grain. And they look up, and the woman just sort of looks up, says, "Oh, good evening.
Evening?
We have visitors. Yeah. How are you folks doing?"
Well,
Oh, mighty fine.
we're right.
just,
Yeah, rightfully fine.
on our
Peachy.
way to Desperation and need to take a
Yeah.
load off. Saw the nice place you have up here and wondering if we could, bed down someplace, quiet for the night.
Yeah. Well, she sort of looks. They look at each other for a second, and they will say, "Yeah, yeah, we should. We'll probably have room for you. Yeah, we'll just to go and we'll go and get the elder. I'll and he says,
You got a name?
you would think that I would have pulled up the name.
No,
General.
it's okay. I'm more interested. They're trying to dodge conversation,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm seeking
He
more
pauses for a
info.
sec- He pauses for a second and he says, "I'm Isaac."
Isaac, you seem a bit shocked that we're here. You don't have visitors very much.
And his wife just sort of puts her hand on his. Well, it's true. We don't. We tend not to. I'm Maya, by the way.
Maya and
Yeah,
Isaac.
yeah. We'll here, Isaac. Let me take that. You go get the elder. All right. And he says, yeah. I'll show you. And so she takes a sack of grain, puts it on top of the cabbages she is already carrying, and commences walking toward what look like are probably a number of pigsties off to the side. And this gentleman will lead you toward the town square.
Slow that roll,
Sure.
Marshall.
He will
Wow.
start walking toward the town square.
So while we're doing that, Val's gonna kind of like be there, like fall to the back of the group.
Mhm.
And I would like to get as close as I can to one of the birds. They're crows, right?
They are crows.
Okay. So she's kind of whistling to herself, and as she does that, I am going to cast Beast Friend.
Okay.
Okay, let me do my thing. That's only one. Blah blah blah. So I need to make a focus roll, right?
That is correct.
Okay. I will re-roll. What is that gold thing I have?
Yes.
So I know?
So last session, Katie pledged and gave you a legend chip. Legend chips actually stick with you from session to session
Nice. Okay, cool.
once you've drawn them. So yeah.
And the blue is adding a d6?
Blue is you can add a d6. Red is also you can add a d6, but then I get chips. I should probably draw my chips. That would probably be a good idea.
I'll use a blue and I'll add a d6.
Alrighty.
So yeah, so that's an 8.
Okay, you got a success with a raise.
Yeah.
So you are good.
So I can communicate with it.
You can.
Yay.
So it is now, it just sort of looks up and it looks up and it speaks to you.
Yeah, how do crows sound? I think it's mostly more like almost like an instinctual thing. So she's trying to pick up like, are they? I doubt they're scared, but are they scared? Are they happy? Are they cannibals? What are they?
So there is hunger in its
Yeah.
eyes. You can tell
Yeah.
that immediately. It's it's just it's sort of looking at you and looking at everyone with this bit of hunger, and it's
Yeah.
like, and it's actually looking at it's watching the bushel of cabbages with some hunger, and then it's just sort of turning back, and just is like, caw, caw, caw.
She kind of whistles again and like gestures at it to come up on her shoulder, and she's gonna get something. I have rations. Get something out of her bag and feed it subtly so as not to attract many more.
It'll it'll be like
Yeah.
It will immediately snap it out of your hands.
All right, it's gonna come with me now. Now it's my friend.
Yeah.
For at least the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's your friend for a little while.
Yeah, we'll see.
I need to look at something in that actually in the specifics of Beast Friend here because of a little thing that is also going on in the background. Let me just look at this real.
I can control swarms. Just saying.
I assume that you cast it on just this one for now, yeah?
Yes, for now,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
just
Yeah,
saying.
this it's a wee fella. Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
I'm
He's
gonna call it
basically-
fella.
Fella? Yeah, fella's good.
Yeah, it's a fella.
So
Aw.
fella is gonna. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're not actually gonna get where. I just wanted to check to see if it actually speaks words or anything crazy like that to you. All right. No, it does not appear to. Okay.
No.
So yeah. There is you notice there is something weird about this crow.
Yeah. Tell me more.
It's basically it's like it is waiting for something.
Mm-hmm.
It's hungry, but
Like-
it's like waiting for
Like an order.
kind of, yeah, like it's waiting for somebody to ring the dinner bell or something.
Yeah. Doesn't have like blood on its beak or anything, does it? Just like hanging out. But if I'm patting its beak, do I
It's,
come
yeah.
away with anything?
There's a little, very tiny little bit of red liquid does come off.
Sister. Sis.
Coming.
Yeah. By this point, I don't know if you folks, if the rest of you folks are already at the town square. You're probably at the. It's not a huge commune, so
Right.
there's this town square. There's this large church-like building without a symbol on it, and you do note. I will say, Sister and Doc, you will notice in the town square, there are several of these. Several of these look like they look kind of like crosses. These cross-looking poles set up
Jim,
around the town square.
Jim, I hear you. I know what you're putting down. I'm picking it up, Jim.
I'm just describing what they see. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, I stopped. Do you point all this out?
No, I just say sis, but I'll wait for Doc.
Yeah. I'll let you retreat and just let Doc continue into absolutely pleasant place.
Right. There's nothing wrong here.
I'd like to make an occult check.
Ah, yes. Why don't you do that?
Just on the off chance. Just on the off chance.
Nicely
Excellent.
done. That those instincts kicked in real fast.
Okay. Is there a particular direction in which you would like this occult check to lean?
Well, there's two things about this occult check. One, given previous information on the region. One. Second, being this feels like chapter 6 of the handbook. And I don't like that I'm having to refer to chapter 6 of the handbook. Because this feels like something I would usually call back for help for. This doesn't feel like a personal matter.
So, let me see. I think that Yeah, this is where it gets a little bit strange, but always it does. So as you're kind of coming in here, and you are noticing sort of things in the town square. You see the way the town square is set up. This is definitely the way in which these poles are placed in a circular fashion, and the way people are sort of hanging out in an anticipatory fashion. And the way they're looking at the older gentleman who's coming out of the church-like building in an anticipatory fashion. It
Is
does
he wearing
rather.
red?
I'm sorry? He is not wearing red.
Okay, at least it's not that.
He is wearing black. He is wearing a black robe and a broad-brimmed hat. And as he steps out, and you're kind of just looking, and it's like, yes, this whole thing is a preparation for an occult ritual of some kind. This is undoubtedly the case. There is a ritual about to happen this evening. Oh God, it's midsummer.
That is psychedelics in the Kool-Aid yet.
The hat hides the giant blue flashing light that's just screaming out warning, warning. As Erasmus just comes right on up with like the biggest, friendliest grin, just in the middle of this obviously occult ritual circle that I'm now literally in the middle in, while everyone else is elsewhere.
Well, yes, it's just you and Reverend Baines standing here right now.
I'm just gonna give a slight eye over to the Reverend, going that very quick look of, "Hey, buddy, we're in it," and then just, "Howdy, folks."
Before I have this gentleman speak, I do want to just quickly, I just want to put back briefly. First, I want to resolve what it was that Val and Ruth were talking about.
Yes. Are Isaac and Maya still with us?
Maya has gone off to feed the pigs. Isaac is Isaac
gone off to feed the pigs.
Isaac led Doc Erasmus to the town square. You can kind of see him from here. Oh, look, there are a bunch of poles up. Just like the ones
I
near the
saw
entrance.
the poles. Okay. I grab Sister Ruth's hand and I just say, I think we left some of our personal belongings down at the bottom of the hill, so we need to get those so we can make proper recompense for your generosity. And I'm walking. We're riding. We're out of here. Bye. I'm taking her. We're going. Oh, no explanation.
Oh, yeah, all that stuff at the bottom of the hill.
Lady items, articles that ladies need.
Sister is so confused, and she feels bad about leaving the doctor and the preacher, right?
Yeah, I wish I cared.
I wish we don't want to come back and see him on a spick. Like on a okay. The sister like looks right at you like with one eye, and she kind of nods. Is there anybody around? Have they taken notice of the fact we're now backing out of this?
Very convincingly and genially.
There are people. There are a couple of people. They're just sort of like looking. They're watching you. They're not doing anything, but they're kind of like
they're watching. Oh, we'll be back. I try to reassure them all.
Okay.
As soon as we get out the gate, I'm like, what is going on?
Cult. Sacrifice.
Well, I
cult.
I could have told you they were a cult before we got here. Is that what's got you? What's wrong?
I just pointed my bird. And the blood on its beak.
Bird's like, The bird kind of wants to stay, but it's staying on your shoulder.
Oh,
That's right.
all this panic over a bird.
You know, animals are rather intelligent.
Oh, I did not question that. I'm just wondering what spooked you about this crow in particular.
Ah.
The fact that I think it eats people.
I'm sorry. Maybe it was my hood. I didn't quite hear you. Did you say it eats people?
Uh-huh. Yes, you do, fella. Yes, you do.
No. And I wonder now, do all? And I start looking around at all the birds. Eat
Yep.
people?
Yep.
Looking very hungry right now.
Yep. I don't even care if he's just stoking.
Just gonna
my fire.
not
Yes,
look at the
they do.
bird. And pray tell, Val, with your incredible instincts,
Thank you.
why might you're welcome. Why might a commune of this kind want to teach their birds to eat people?
Oh, I mean, I figured you'd know more about the specifics.
Flesh eating is only something I do in theory and metaphor, not for real. Not the body of Christ. Don't.
No,
Don't.
because I had a question about that from the other night, but I'm letting that one simmer.
Okay, so what now? We're going to just leave the poor doctor and the preacher man in there as a sacrifice? We can't just waltz up in there and say, sorry, we don't bunk with cannibals.
Why not?
Well, because
Well,
it's rude, Val.
I'm just
'Cause
saying
it's
we
rightfully
go. I'm just saying we go. You know, this ain't the place for us. Oh no, William. Elijah
many-
in the week.
So let's take that cue.
The camera directly cuts to the
Smash cut to the wheat.
Whip pan.
I did just want to ask one thing before we do the whip pan. How far down the hill are you having this conversation?
Are we going to the bottom?
Could we be at the edge, like before it starts going down? Like
Yeah,
the
you can.
edge so we can still see the dock if we squint.
You can you can very, very kind of see him. You will also notice at the bottom of the hill that you see at the bottom of the road, you see the cart, and you see Moon just sort of standing there, and just sort of he glances up and he waves. And
So you know what? Sorry. What does Mr. Moon look like? Just real quick. I wasn't
sure. He's in his looks like he's about early 30s probably.
Uh-huh.
Sort of he has sort of short dark hair. He's very clean. He has broad brim, but he has a broad brimmed hat. He does carry a gun. As a gun belt with a gun. He has a very sort of very nice looking shirt and vest, kind of a little expensive, sort of dark blue, light blue. And
what
trousers.
kind of stuff does he sell again?
He sells all manner of devices, kind of the stuff that you can find in the Smith and Robarts catalog. From what he said thus far, you've traveled with him a little bit, so you found out that. But he's a reseller for Hellstrom Industries, which is their main rival. They're actually a little bit bigger than Smith and Robarts.
Gotcha.
He carries mostly elixirs. He apparently knows a little bit about alchemy. You've learned thus far, and so he sells a number of those. He also apparently does sell ammo of different kinds.
Cool.
And a little bit. So he does dip a little bit into weaponry.
Yeah. Okay. Helpful, not okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Meanwhile, across the field of wheat, you folks notice this. It's very interesting. That when the farmers finish, you notice that these birds flutter down. You hadn't really noticed them before. These blackbirds, crows probably, and just sort of land on their shoulders as they're carrying these a couple of armfuls of handfuls of vegetables, a couple sacks of vegetables. The crows are not getting at the vegetables at all, you don't think, which is a little weird. But they're just sort of hopped down there, merely sitting on their shoulders as they're as the farmers are heading away. Apparently something's happening in the town square. You can kind of see there's a really big building. There's a big barn-like building back here. It's not too far from another large building that looks kind of church-shaped, but doesn't have any symbols on it. And then in front of that is a town square, and you can just barely make out. It could possibly, you think that hat looks very familiar. Sort of a top hat looking thing.
Man, I can't see shit. Look through your gun.
Yeah, he does. He telescopes in.
Yeah. That's
Let me see.
that's Erasmus. Erasmus is being greeted by someone coming out of the church.
Do I see the sister and Val exiting?
Well, that's it's way on the other side, so you're kind of just panning around. You think you might just barely see a habit dipping down over the ridge on the far end at the entrance to the commune.
The doc's talking to somebody in a big hat and a black robe. And then I think the Val and the sister, they backed out. I'm not sure though. I can't, that's too far away. I think is the people that are farming going back into the town.
Yeah. Actually, everyone's sort of starting to form kind of a circle in the town square.
Okay, Jim. Willie is going to see that the friendly nature of Crow and Farmer, which if there's ever been a relationship that is more antithetical, it's Crow and Farmer. But seeing this little like perch pirate thing that they've got going on, Willie is going to lean down because they're kind of like at the edge of the farmland, right? We're kind of like at the edge of the grain.
Yeah.
And he's going to take a look at the dirt, like the soil, because you said this stuff looks like it's whatever they're doing, it's growing pretty well, right?
Okay. Yeah, it's growing okay.
Okay, well,
it's doing pretty well.
He's gonna look this. Well, okay, I'll tell you what he's looking for. Like bone meal, bits of bone. Is there a composting element in the field of golden grain that might speak to something a crow would like?
It could be. It could be. Just sort of looking at it, and as far as you've seen wheat fields before, and it does look as though there was composting going on. If you want to pick out bone, you're gonna have to go in a little bit closer into the wheat and sort of dig down a little bit. But it does look like there's it looks composted.
Oh shit. Okay, I'll get a little bit closer. Let me take a look at it.
Okay. Please roll notice for me again.
Lovely. It's my speciality. Holy shit.
So here's kind of what happens because unfortunately you rolled
go
snake
blind.
eyes.
Right.
So you are going to
I'm gonna use it. Hold on, because you always told me a double one's really bad. So can I spend another chip?
Unfortunately, no.
You can't spend chips. Oh, that's right.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. I forgot.
That's where it is, unfortunately. I will say that, Elijah, are you also getting a little closer?
I was looking at Willie looking at dirt, and he's like, "What? Why is he looking at dirt?" So he's going to start going a little forward. He sees the farmers going in there. He thinks he's got a shot at getting closer because he wants to see why they backed out of there. He's not thinking about birds like everybody else is. He's going forward, and he's going to go. And he's going to try to go through the wheat and try to sneak in a little bit.
So, Elijah, there is a thing you're going to notice. Okay. Actually, it is not from the wheat, but it is from the barn. Before I tell you, though, since we have Snake Eyes here, I need to do something real quick.
Well, I get into the wheat, and then something falls on me.
Oh, not on you. But Willie, you're going to have one of your moments where you sort of the wheat just sort of you look at enough of this stuff, it kind of looks it looks almost like blurry, and for saying you're looking down in the wheat, and then for but a moment, the birds stop. And it's just like, so something weird happened, like it gets a little darker. And you stand up and you realize that you're not in the same wheat field for a moment. You have had moments like this before. From time to time. It's a little more intense right now. You see what looks like a scarecrow in the middle of the field. There was no scarecrow in the middle of this field a moment ago. And you're looking far out. You're just sort of looking at what looks like these sort of, it's like the sky is kind of blood red, and the buildings of the commune look a little bit twisty. And you hear this voice that seems to be coming from the scarecrow. These are the enemy. And then you see what looks like something standing in front of what might have been the church, releasing these massive black wings from its back. Very tall, insanely tall, as it seems to increase in size, this massive bird-shaped thing that is not a bird, growing very rapidly taller than the church. And you do hear this ear-splitting caw. And you're going to snap 2, as that's going to suddenly melt away, and you're going to be in the field again. Now, Elijah, you were sort of you were heading closer, and you heard this sort of this thumping from the barn.
Like a bang.
Yeah, like
somebody's trying to get out, like somebody's trying to send a message or something.
Yeah.
Willie. I don't know if Willie's still in his trance. I don't know if he snapped out of it.
Well, yeah. So Willie, you snap out, and Elijah's right next to you.
Willie. He's
Yeah.
nudging him. Hey, you all right?
Yeah.
Damn, I ain't never seen you like this.
It ain't right here, man.
You don't think so? Hey, there's someone's banging down that barn right down there. You think that could be Miss Peacock?
We gotta get the hell out of here. We gotta get to Doc, though.
Damn, he's in the middle. He's right in the middle, Willie. We got no choice. We got to go in.
Yeah, all right.
They don't know we're here. If I can get up on high ground. Does the barn look like it has like a spot where I can, position myself?
Yeah. You look at it. It wasn't built exactly expertly. So it's going to take a little bit of a climb, but you might be able to make it up on there. If you're going out, you're going up the outside, presumably.
Well, would want to go check the noise of who's banging first, and then try to get, and then if me and Willie can get down there, figure out who that is, and then make some sort of plan. Yeah. If Willie's got a bad sense about the place, Elijah definitely believes him.
Sure. So the barn has only this barn actually, for some reason, only has this barn only has one entrance. It's got 2 front doors. They're closed.
Did Willie come with me?
Willie would just tell you, Because you're going to the barn, and then you're going high, or are you going high?
I'm gonna go find. Yeah, I'm gonna find out who's thumping.
Now let me. If you go high, just make sure you can get inside. Don't be where something in the air could see you.
All right, I got you. So I'll go check out the who's thumping.
Yeah, Willie's gonna go too.
Okay. And Willie, as you leave that spot you were standing in, you can just swear. And you've had this thing you felt since yesterday, since the hanging. But you realize that for a second, it's like there was the pressure of a hand on your shoulder for just a moment, but it's gone. As you folks get around to the barn, you're going to head around to the front of the barn, and you see there's doors. They are closed with a padlock.
And he kind of like listens for the bang. I want to see who's,
After, it's going to take a moment, and then you're going to hear sort of a thump again on kind of the side of the barn.
Willie would pull up to one of the slats, one that maybe has a bit of rot, a little space between, and he would cast his voice into the darkness of the barn. It's Peacock.
Yeah. You crouch down, and after a moment, you hear, yes. Who is that?
It's your pen pal.
Kenner?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What the hell's going on here, Miss Peacock?
They're going. The crows. They're going to take us. They're going to take us for the scavenger. We're going to cut to the center of town.
Shit.
And so this Erasmus, this smiling gentleman in black, clad in black, comes up to you. And he says, "Oh, what a pleasure! So good for us to have visitors."
I happen to have the reputation of showing up at just the right time.
Yeah. He's got his skin's like tanned leather. As he just sort of a strong jaw, clean shaven. He's sort of reaching his hand forward, and he will say, Elder Dionysius Grackle, at your service, sir.
I'm going to extend my hand forward, and at the same time, I'm going to slip my left hand into my pocket and into the brass knuckles.
Excellent. So you're doing that, and he says, "It's you folks in need of accommodations?"
Well, we were on our way to Desperation.
Oh yeah.
Don't think you guys would necessarily like the business I'm starting. I inherited in a card game a saloon that I'm going to renovate down there, but just came through town, bit of law business back up, and well, I don't know about you, but you hear enough of the stories on the road that you just want to find a good place to stay for the night, and you guys seem to have a wonderful place here.
Of course. And as it happens, we do have a good amount of room. We've got our harvest festival tonight, so hopefully that won't keep you up too much, but we can certainly put you up. I have no problem
sleep like the dead. No, it by all means enjoy your festival again. I try and use the southern thing so I blend in more, but I'm actually from back east.
How many of you are there? How many do we need to? Shall we entertain tonight?
Oh, Well, a few folks want to make sure that everything was okay. We've got about, I think, 12 of us total. Um, but yeah, just want to make sure everything was clean and clear. I'm kind of the head of the posse, the purse strings, if you will. Want to make sure that you were well compensated and that there was enough room.
Of course. Of course. No need, but no need for compensation. We are all children of the earth, and we want to be certain to help our neighbors. You're more than welcome to stay. More
Oh,
than welcome.
That is absolutely fantastic to hear. Now, if you will, Reverend, why don't you go and check out the accommodations? I'm going to head back down the hill and get the rest of our group.
Yeah, he says, and at this point, Grackle will look up and just sort of says, "Oh, Isaac, you take care of that boy, don't you? Just let them know they can come on in." No. You're
I'm
very
sorry.
tired. We should get you
I'm
bedded
sorry,
down.
Elder Grackle. Due to previous escapades, people down there are awfully trigger happy, and I don't want Isaac to get shot.
Quick question: the those who were at the front of the commune were heading back in. Yes.
I was mostly to get the dot because I felt maybe a little bad. And also to make sure, Willie's not up on it.
I think the
Bit.
sister just, if it's as bad as Val's making it out to be, nobody is dying on the sister's watch. Definitely not to be it. So
where are the two of you headed as
Oh.
you head back in?
Oh, no, to keep up the guys. The sister goes, "Oh, I'm very glad we found what we was looking for down here at the bottom of the hill."
Yes, our lady articles that we need as ladies.
Now we can go back.
Are you heading back toward the square?
Yeah, Val's really losing the whole guys. Yes, assuredly.
You all Erasmus, you hear this
as I hear this
coming up.
I have a +2 to lion, so
as Erasmus hears this, there's complete poker face, but the hand in the brass knucks just tightens a bit. And I'm getting a good read on Grackle's face as to where I should marry these knuckles.
So a crow lands on Grackle's shoulder and just caws for a moment.
Oh, that's neat. It reminds me of a group I met up in Maine. Real lovely people. They were definitely of the old time religion.
You must tell us about it, but it seems like your friends are returning.
Oh yes, no, those are two of our good scouts. The Sister Ruth and Val. they're a couple of characters. But that's not all of them. I mean, we need to get Professor Moon and his entourage from Hellstrom and Associates. They're going to be setting up an office down in Desperation. Got all sorts of whiz bangs and things.
My friend tells me that my little friend tells me that, as it were, that it's just him sitting out there all alone on his wagon. He should be okay leaving it there if he wants to come up.
I see. I need to actually properly introduce myself.
Isaac, go and say hi to him, would
you? Leans in a little closer. His name's Dr. Erasmus G. Hazard. I'm with the agency. Smack him in the face.
Okay, so you get in a punch, and he stumbles back, and for a moment, everyone's like, and
I'm going to yell out as they're in stunned, drawing my pistol, changing voice. U.S. agent.
Ah, well, this will be very entertaining. Well, folks, looks like it's time to start the Harvest Festival. The crows all come up as one from the roofs and begin their descent upon you.
Oh, Lord.
And that is where we are going to leave things off for the evening.
I wanted to kill a couple birds. Oh, man.
You're going to have a chance to kill a couple of birds first thing next week. I am quite absolutely certain of that.
Oh, my.
Damn it.
Thank you all very much for playing. I think I should probably turn off the crows. Not nice to leave them on during the outro. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to go around as we come to this point, as we are here atop the hill, readying for battle with a bunch of birds, apparently. We're going to go around and do our outros, have folks say any thoughts you had about the session and where folks can find you. And we shall once again go counterclockwise, as is our wont, and we shall start with Pope.
Hey, everybody. Pope World Build here. World Build on the Twitter, Pope World Build on the Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. Oh, that was something. Well, we got some insights into some of our companions. We got an introduction to this scavenger. Fun. If you want to see more of my funny face, it's time for the holidays, and I don't know about you, but it's always a fiasco. Come and join us tomorrow on Other Doc as we go through Trainwreck mode on Fiasco. And keep your eyes peeled for something absolutely different. The Dreadful Beat of DJ Strahd, coming up Sunday, 9:30 p.m. on Matev7's channel. It's good to be back in the Weird West. As much as Erasmus is just screaming in my head, I am absolutely delighted to be back here with these wonderful people and with all of you. Those of you in chat tonight, watching on the VOD or over on YouTube, love you all. Happy to have you here. Happy holidays. Take care, everybody.
Awesome. Excellent. Thank you for throwing yourself right in the middle there. That was delightful. That was awesome. And it was badass. And a reveal. Very cool. Now let us move on to Dot.
Hi, I'm Dot. You can find me online as Little Red Dot, Twitch, Twitter, most of the socials, where I am taking a little bit of a smidge of a break for the month of December. But you can check out my channel this upcoming week for our Holiday Sunday Fun Day, which is going to be filled full of holiday gobs and some For the Snow Queen action, which actually I can thank this channel for introducing me to that game. Thanks, Lauren. And you'll catch me here, of course, as long as they will have me. And then gearing up to make some major announcements this week. So you can tune in to, I'm going to be doing a little GM planning and stuff. And as I do, I'll be making some big announcements about what's up next over on the Dot Lot. So yeah, 2020's got a lot going on.
Yay!
Happy holidays, everybody.
Excellent. Steven, hey, how's it going?
Doing good, buddy. Thanks. I had a great time. It was a very bird-centric episode. I think the real focus on birds was today. Birds and wheat. So I loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved Lauren's beginning scene. That was amazing. Everybody was fantastic. You were awesome. And I'm kind of glad I'm not in the middle there with all the birds coming down on them. So we'll see how it turns out next week. So and we got the holiday special next week, apparently, right? Assuming. So that's, I'm really looking forward to that. And thanks for everything. And I'll see you soon, partner. Thank you.
Awesome. I am glad at least the marshal was able to with those rolls, at least the marshal was able to keep his wits about him, because then there's a chance the victims might get away. One never knows.
Yeah. Okay. Thank-
And Lauren, hi.
Hi. That was super fun. I love fighting cults so much. I hate them, but I love kicking their asses. I can't wait to do it again. I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger over on Twitter. I'm part of the team here at Tales from the Grim. God, oh my God, it's been so long. I'm glad to be back streaming. What do we have coming up? We have things. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday. We have Watchmen coming up, and we have our Project Athena Christmas special on Sunday at 7 Eastern. I have all my things here, so it's pretty exciting. And some games over on the Scraticus Academy, streaming Salty Sweet Games with my best friend Kiana, now that we're both back from PAX. And yeah, that's me. Thanks, Jim. Can't wait to fuck up your birds next week.
I can't either. Thanks so much. That was, and that also that intro, you were on fire. Great. Absolutely wonderful. And before I toss things back over to Greg, I'm Jim. I am Other Doc on both the Twitter and the Twitch. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find links to my various audio thingies and signups for games that I'm running over on my Twitch channel. Over on my Twitch channel, on Tuesdays this month, we are doing a short campaign of connected fiasco scenarios. We're right in the middle. Tomorrow we're doing the second one of 3. We're doing it in train wreck mode, which is a delight, carrying things over from one session to the next. On Saturdays, we do Invisible Sun, our ongoing campaign. On Sundays, we do one-shots. This Sunday, I'm going to be running a story game called To Serve Her Wintry Hunger for the winter theme, which is basically folks playing winter spirits, hunting down a victim. And very much looking forward to that. I mean, I think it's going to be spectacular. And of course, Monday nights, I'm here, marshalling Deadlands, which is where I always want to be. Greg, thank you so much. Over to you.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you. Thank everybody for showing up. We've been off for a while with the holidays and PAX and all that good stuff. And we'll be a little bit intermittent going into the second round of holidays coming up soon as well. But we do have a lot of fun things coming along. The aforementioned Watchmen, Port of the Black Freighter, takes place in those magical 3 days in 1985 from October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd. What happens on that day? I don't know, 3 million people. But we'll have a lot of fun to see exactly what the world was doing when the miniseries was occurring. And so we have a big cast with that, filled out with the Legion. Chat, thank you very much. And I am going to end by saying this. Actually, Grimjack21502 on the Twitter, part of the Tales from the Grim on the Twitch. I will end with saying this. This Sunday, a return to where it all began. My fantastic Olympians will ride once more as we do our Project Athena holiday special. We were down 2 Olympians at the end of our series over a year, or about a year ago. We'll see what happens with this cast as we get together to find out what happens a few years later. But, well, you know what? Campfire goes down. There's only one thing left to say. Can't always roll nat 20s, but can always roll plays. What I usually say. But what I'm going to say tonight is the West is fun. The Weird West is better. But best yet, Olympians never die. We'll see you soon.